Hello, you beautiful nerds. I am Jedi Master Grayson.
And I am your favorite cousin, Bill.
And welcome to
Does It
Hold? The show where we revisit classic genre films to see if they're as good or as bad as we remember.
Yes, and we may get drunk while we do it. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Mostly drunk. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. But as always, we can't do it alone. We are joined by a special guest to help us determine if this film stands the test of time. He is the OG smoking buddy. We've been smoking with this guy for so long that
It's not necessary to even bring up what year it was.
Right. I hesitate to say because it'll just show how old we are. But Morgan,
how young we are. Maybe I'm not even supposed to be smoking and drinking right now.
I'm just a little buddy.
I mean, I'm only smoking cloves.
Yeah.
Weed on them.
Yeah,
cloves. YouTube. Don't listen to him. Why they be lying? I ain't never smoked no weed on YouTube ever. I don't even know how to spell weed.
Yeah, it's famously very hard to spell.
Spelled devil's lettuce.
But yeah, we will welcome to the stage the fifth Bantha, Morgan.
Welcome back to the show, bro. I guess it's your first time on Doesn't Hold Up.
Yeah, this is his
first time on Does It Hold Up. I was at the Christmas party, and you're actually
holiday party. You pagan.
You actually dragged me in for a show, so I guess it's only appropriate when it's it's a pothead show. So
we reached out to all the finest potheads
and found this
all around the world.
And the best one answered the phone. But
top three potheads around the world.
If you haven't guessed, this is our 420 episode. We're leading up to the best time of the year.
This is not weed.
Cloves.
Cloves.
This is not a show about weed.
It
about cloves.
I'm trying to get this monetized. This is hard.
It's a show about monetization.
The 420 movie, the last 420 video that you did, which is on the Drunk Banthas channel right now under Drunk Reviews. That one, they tried to block it. But
and it also did most of his numbers.
I went in court. Yeah, no, but they still tried to block it. How do you think that makes it work? Right. How well do you think it'll do after that, right?
Hey, man, Prohibition always thinks things more popular.
I just want to say that just because people, real people be looking at this and reviewing it. So I'm just saying that right now, this is to celebrate the holiday, not to, encourage anyone to do anything. Please be responsible with the things you do. Drink responsibly, smoke responsibly.
Yeah, think responsibly. Speaking of which, like the video, the movie that we're talking about today, it was in my top 10 stoner films video. You guys can check that out. The link will be somewhere. I'll probably put it right there. Bill, what film are we talking about today?
Alex, I'm so glad that you asked me that question. Because we are talking about the 1998 stoner comedy, Half Baked. It's directed by Tamara Davis, who is married to Mike D. And starring Dave Chappelle, Jim Brewer, Guillermo Diaz, and Harland Williams. And also Rachel.
Leave Clarence Williams out of that.
Yeah. The great God, Clarence Williams. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got there. Honestly, when I was putting the starring in the notes, I was like, "Damn, there's a lot of people to mention." I'm gonna have to mention
all of them. I was like, "All right," but look, I like all of them, so I will.
Yeah, there's still probably 15 names we could mention right now of people you know.
That's a segment called Best Cameo, but we don't get to do Best Cameo on this show very often, but it is a segment that's gonna get done today.
That's true.
And excuse my voice. I lost my voice because I don't give a piss about nothing but the die. And that's how I gotta go down. Let me just tell you, I don't know how it's gonna work out, but hopefully it works out good.
Yeah, roll tide. Like many stoner films, one of the staples of this movie is a fuck ton of cameos. So I'm excited to dig into all of that. But before we talk about what we're talking about, let's ask the first big question. Morgan.
Yeah.
What did you think of the film the first time you saw it?
All right, so 1998. I'm gonna age myself if I answer this question, but I was a little bit older than the boys were in the start of the film. And we'll just leave it at that. I was still in high school, but almost done with high school. So I should have been the target audience for this. Unfortunately, at that point in my time in my life, I was married to a certain religion, and we didn't smoke weed. But I did see the movie, and I thought it was hysterical. I just didn't get all the jokes, if that makes sense. And it wasn't until years later, after I myself had met Mary Jane Mary Jane Potman, the character on the street, that I finally realized every joke in this movie, and it made it like a billion times more fun. So, like, while it was a funny movie for a
So wait, hold
naive,
on. Let me ask you, when did that happen? Like, when was
okay,
that second
so
watch? When was that rewatch that was like,
Post pot, Morgan.
it was probably about 4 years later.
Okay.
Okay.
Right about 4 years later, when all the changes happen. I'm going through changes. Yeah.
Well, I want to go ahead and tell y'all how the first time we saw this movie, because Alex don't remember it quite all the way, but he remembers. First time we watched this movie was with our brother Adam. What up, dog?
What up, Adam?
We were at our house on Calico Circle. Shout out to Calico Circle, Birmingham, Alabama. What?
205.
You know
what?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Huffman, 5 mile road, 5 mile road. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, we were sitting over there. It was like summertime. The movie had already came out, but it did terribly at the theaters because it came out the third week after the Titanic, and like GoldenEye came out the same weekend. Like a lot of movies that were admittedly better than this came out that weekend.
But I couldn't have seen it had it come out like and done good, because I got it at Blockbuster. Like, that's how I saw it.
This movie came out and was only allowed to be in theaters for 4 weeks. Yeah. So we got to see it mad earlier than we would have, had to wait. So we caught it in the wave of it being popular. And we knew about pot because our dad smoked pot, but we, and our parents were familiar with it. So it was something that wasn't like a not conversation type thing. Right. Our mom showed us Cheech and Chong for the first time. Yeah. First time we saw him. We was it was like 4 or 5 years before this movie came out. So I just go ahead and tell you like what the culture was at our house. And Adam's parents smoked weed too. So that was just like it was just culture. So
should have known. Let's just be real. I should have known.
So we sitting
I was
there,
a different side.
We sitting there on a summer afternoon, like probably like a Friday or Thursday, because no parents was really at the crib. So we sitting there watching cable, and Adam had the remote, and we just sit there chilling, probably eating cereal in the middle of the day or some shit. And Half Baked was on. And we had been watching commercials. We were huge SNL guys back then. And we've been watching commercials and trailers. We just called them commercials back then. But there
was one part from the commercials that they showed all the time in the commercials that made me want to see the movie, where Jim Brewis, like, he's bunny hopping or frog leaping over parking meters, and then one of the times he hits his nuts on one of the parking meters. That wasn't even the movie.
But
but for that age group, that was our kind of comedy then, man.
It was that kind of kind of comedy right now. But I'm just saying, like, that wasn't it. Like he's saying, that wasn't in the movie. But we remember fanfare for the movie. Didn't get to see it, correct? Because we was too young. But man, here it is right now. We watched that shit and we laughed like children is not supposed to. You know what I mean?
Like you're gonna get in trouble.
And I believe like it was like what, maybe a few months later, Killing Them Softly comes out.
Or well, I think it was later. I think Kill 'Em Softly came out in 2000.
Yeah, so
it was a couple years later.
2 years later, we get Killing Them Softly, and we're blown away. So, just saying all that to say that like it was a moment in time where we was just casually passing by, and bam, there it was, and it put like I said, we was already in the culture. It just put us on a road, on a path, to something so sweet. That's sweet Chiba.
That's sweet Chiba. Yeah, it was funny that because we obviously didn't smoke at the time, but
yeah, we were 12.
Yeah, we were children. But for whatever reason, like the comedy still hit. Like
shit, we weren't even 12. Well, were we 12? Yeah, we was like 12.
Yeah.
12. Yeah, 12. But we'll stick with 12.
We'll stick with 12. That sounds right.
Warning,
marijuana impairs the memory.
Right.
But I do remember really enjoying this. And like you said, the movie was only able to stay in theaters for a month because people kept smoking weed in the theaters, and Universal didn't want to be associated.
I had to only be in Oakland. I don't believe that.
I just heard another YouTuber say it, so take that with a grain of salt.
No, that was in the newspaper. Like that was the deal, but I just don't believe it.
Put joints in your kids' Halloween candy too, parents. Watch out. Just so you know,
because it's like people wasn't doing that during the Cheech and Chong releases,
right?
When weed wasn't even that illegal, like it was illegal, but people people wasn't as taboo about it as they were when in the 90s. The 90s is one of the most conservative eras of the United States history.
We're on drugs. Yeah.
So I just don't believe that people were really smoking. I think that they wanted to kill a film that was getting in the way of other movies that were making a lot of money.
Yeah, to your point, there were a lot of great movies that were coming out this year.
This was made by Universal, by the way.
Yeah, Universal Pictures. And Universal had a couple other hits on exactly. What's it called? Box office. We got For Richer or Poor. Oh, and fucking Kundun, the Martin Scorsese movie that no one's ever seen. But we, got movies like Titanic, Good Will Hunting, Wag the Dog, Tomorrow Never Dies, James Bond movie, Amistad. God damn, like there's so many, Jackie Brown, so many great movies that came out this year.
Didn't say Flubber once.
That came out within the within 6 weeks of this movie coming out.
Yeah, like all of these movies came out this
same weekend.
Yeah, like
hold on, let me read the ones that came off this weekend.
Yeah.
Miramax's Good Will Hunting, Fallen, Hard Rain, Half Baked.
I remember Hard Rain.
Wag the Dog, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Fucking that James Bond coming out.
That was the one. Weekend. It wasn't GoldenEye. It was fucking Tomorrow Never Dies. Mouse Hunt. Oh no, excuse me, not Mouse Hunt, but Star Kid.
Star Kid.
I saw Star Kid.
Star Kid was good. Yeah.
Star Kid. We probably saw that what happened too.
Yeah.
Firestorm. Jackie Brown. Scream 2. Definitely saw that. Man, we saw Scream 2, but not Half Baked. Wild. Anyway, Kundun, The Boxer, Flubber. Definitely saw that.
Yeah.
Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate didn't come out that week, but it was still in theaters 14 weeks later, which is crazy.
Do you see how little amount of money it made? That's crazy to me.
No, that's the amount of money it made that weekend.
Oh, okay. I see total gross. Okay.
And speaking of money that it made that weekend, Half Baked made money.
Yeah. It made it's like over twice its budget and ended up with $17.5 million on a $7 million budget.
I think that's the reason it really got taken down, taken out of the theaters early, because I believe they thought, shit, this is becoming popular. We don't want people to be like, oh, y'all are endorsing weed. We don't want to get sued.
This is drug money. Yeah, I could see them having a conservative.
Think about it. If it was making that much money, think about how much longer if it had been in the movie theaters for 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, that was
Jesus Christ.
That was just a month. Like, and back then, movies
Jurassic Park
a lot
money
longer than they do now. Yeah, it could have been the Jurassic Park of stoner movies if they let it ride.
Dude, they would have made so much money, because what we're not talking about is, or what we haven't talked about yet, is this movie had mega stars in it.
Yeah.
Right? And like maybe not maybe they weren't all mega stars yet, but Jim fucking Brewer was a mega
He
star
was
at
super
this
popular
point.
at the time, yeah.
At this point, Jim Brewer was turning down TV shows.
Jon Stewart was a mega star at this point, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Oh.
He was a good comedian.
He was a big stand-up guy.
He was on MTV at this time.
Oh yeah,
pretty sure.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of like behind the scenes blowing up, but not really blowing up. Jim Brewer was on your TV every Saturday midnight, cracking your ass up with at least like 4 to 5 sketches, which is crazy if you're on SNL and you're in like 4 or 5 sketches a night, like coming up with all kind of characters, writing. Jim Brewer was about to hit the moon, and I feel like this kind of killed his career.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it because you don't see him really do anything after this. He gets like a couple stand-up specials, but yeah, you don't really see him in a lot of movies, which is crazy because his performance is pretty great. But I do want to get into the performances. Before we do, let's talk a little bit about the reception, because the Rotten Tomato score on this film is very divisive, as you've probably heard us say a lot on this show. The critic score is 28%. And the audience score is 81%.
Is that bad?
It's not good.
Oh.
Critical consensus is you'd have to be high to dig half-baked production and scattershot sense of humor. Although maybe that was the point of this Dave Chappelle-led joint.
Maybe that was the point, Mr. Critic Guy.
Maybe that was the point of this.
Half-baked on weed?
He said, "What was? Maybe that was the point of this Dave Chappelle joint." I don't like
He even said it.
I don't like this. I don't like this person.
You don't like this, right?
That person, he didn't get the movie. He doesn't smoke. He's a square. Let him go.
Even not being a square. Let's just say
Let's
just say he's not a square. That was a fucking corny ass line.
Yeah, it was a corny punchline.
And I will not accept it. You're out of here. You're fucking out of here. We're not gonna say your name because we don't want people to dox you.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like you guys don't feel like that's a fair assessment of the movie? You think he's being too harsh on the sense of humor of the movie, Morgan?
Absolutely. Not only because it's the sense of humor of the movie, but it's looking with hindsight and going, these are mega stars now. The people in this movie are mega stars now. So for you to say that this is trash when it's, in my opinion, for some of them, one of their finest works, it's just ignorant, in my opinion. And it literally is. You can tell you don't smoke no weed and you don't understand this culture or this lifestyle or anything about this movie. Like, we're never going to see you running into the janitor outside the prison. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, you're not that guy. So calm down.
Yeah, and it's funny because even as we said, like most of us, we didn't smoke weed when we saw this movie for the first time. So it's weird that they can even, like, I guess being an adult, you have a little bit more like you think it's a little bit more passe to make a movie like this, because as kids, the movies like this or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they kind of play really well as kids movies, but just like adult kids movies. But it's just like with the aesthetic and the hyper realistic tone and all this wacky shit happened, people turning to the camera and making a silly face. So I feel like that's kind of one of the things that kind of transcends it beyond just like, oh, you won't get it unless you're a stoner, though that does help, make
helps. But you're right.
Jokes, yeah,
you're absolutely right that our generation of people, that's why adult animation even exists, because we kept that childlike sense of humor, and whether you smoke weed or not, you think the jokes are funny. Like, they still land. My brother, I promise, and I'm not even gonna say which one, does not smoke nothing. And I promise that he will laugh at this movie every time it comes on. Why?
Right?
Because they're funny. Because these are all comedians. These are all funny people who got together to make a low budget film to make us laugh, and they succeeded. That's exactly what they set out to do.
Yeah, Justin loves this movie.
You won't say it, but he will. Did you feel like, rewatching, did you like, and we've all heard these jokes a million times, But rewatching it, Bill, did you feel like, okay, I could see why like people didn't probably fuck with this comedy at the time, or did you think the jokes are still just still solid?
That's a good question. I feel like people are stupid,
Okay.
and sometimes that takes people out of their ability to take on the suspension of disbelief.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you
Is he being offended?
well, no. It's not that necessarily they're being offended. Sometimes people feel offended because they don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, man, that movie fucking sucked. Right? But why do you think it sucked? Well, I didn't understand. Why did this happen and this happen? Well, it happened because of this and this. Well, maybe I just interpreted it. Say what?
Then they go, okay, it was all right.
Well, no, I'm just saying some people just be after that, they just be like, well, you stupid, right? Like they be like, well, this movie sucked and you don't know nothing about movies because you thought it was good. No, I may not like the movie, but I know that it's a good movie, right? Like
absolutely.
or I get the joke. It might not be a funny joke to you,
right,
or a funny joke to me, but I see the joke.
You can appreciate the attempt. Like, it's like, okay, I see what they're doing here.
Because most people don't know what the fuck they watching or what they're supposed to feel when they watching a movie. It's kind of like a good book, I guess. Like, or a book in general, like Scarlet Letter or whatever. Like, you might not like that book. It's a well-loved book.
Right.
But you might think it's fucking garbage, like me. But
yeah,
I understand the movie, right? I could write a synopsis on the movie. I could tell you how, like how the movie works. I mean, the book, excuse me, the book.
You could do a book report in 6th grade on this book.
No,
like we all did.
On this movie, no.
No, I meant on the Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet Letter was high school for me. I don't know.
They started us young, I guess. I had
to do a term paper on that bitch.
But no.
Yeah,
too many words.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing, I guess. That concept of understanding the comedy,
right?
And these people, a lot of people are stupid. So then they say, because if you're not smart enough to understand the material, then you might go into it immediately, or come out of it immediately, just feeling like, yo, what the fuck did I just do with my life?
Right. Yeah, like your film literacy definitely goes a long way with just like understanding what a movie is trying to say or what they're trying to do, messages they're trying to convey. But also, movie Jigs, you owe me a shot. But everyone's like, movies are made for everybody. Most people are film nerds like us, and they feel a feeling and they don't even know why. It's like, oh fuck, I love Jurassic Park. I don't know why. Dinosaurs. Like they don't understand all the nuances of like the music and the story and the pacing and shit like that. They're just like, it's a good movie.
And you can dance to it.
And you can dance to it. And that probably speaks to why it's like 81% audience score and 28% critic score, because it's like critics are just like holding their nose up to this and they're not being fun.
So you're saying critics don't dance?
They boogie. All they do is this.
All they do is this. Quick little synopsis of the movie.
Tell us what the fuck the movie's about, Alex. I've never seen this shit before.
Just in case you've never seen this, when a member of their crew gets arrested for killing a New York City police horse by feeding it junk food, 3 slackened stoners are forced to get off their butts. This is a stupid description. Get off their butts and raise bail by setting a pot stolen from a pharmaceutical lab. It's a risky plan, but hey, these are stand-up guys who would do anything for their friend in need.
I'll do anything.
It's very weirdly written, Ron.
Ride or die.
So first, before we get into performances, I want to go in with our introduction.
Janitor? The janitor? Ah! Sorry about that. What is it, Santa?
Sorry. We're going to try to get us set up with the introduction to the work life of
Or Thurgood.
Thurgood Jenkins.
Thurgood Jenkins.
Thurgood Jenkins.
He sounds like a fucking Civil War.
Yes. This
Yeah.
nigga came out of slavery and found him a job in the North.
At a lab.
Janitor? Janitor? Sorry about that. What is a scientist?
I love that back and forth. It's
What
like,
is a scientist?
Janitor? What is it, scientist? Like I like how they call each other janitor and scientist.
Love the name of the company. It's
What was
called
the name of it?
Frankincense and Burr.
Right, yeah.
Like frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's
A
silly.
clear jab. It was beautiful.
I know this isn't your responsibility, but would you be a dear and run this down to the supply department for me? It's on the second floor.
Just run this down?
Yes, but make sure you bring the order right back to me. I need it ASAP.
Gotcha. Hey, I know this isn't your responsibility, but just mop the rest of this shit up. I'll be right back.
That was great. And I honestly wish we got more scenes between him and the scientist because they actually had
That
a
would have
really
been
funny
excellent.
dynamic.
I bet you there was a lot of scenes with him and the scientist.
Let's talk about the story a little. Well, actually, let's go over performances because we do want to ring off our MVPs. Yeah, like you just brought up Dave. You just brought up Dave, the lead of this movie. Morgan, did you feel like he was a good lead? Because Dave doesn't like as popular as he is. He doesn't really lead movies. Hey
man, the best leaders, you never even know they're leading. You feel me? Like they're playing off their team and working in such a way that he didn't steal the whole spotlight. He could have. He could have had the whole spotlight of this movie, and he was like, "No, let's share the wealth. Let's get everybody in here." And he was a great person to play the lead for the cast. I would put it that way. But he did an amazing job. I mean, this launched his career essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did Def Jam.
Yeah. Robin Hood Men in
he was
Tights.
Yep, I was gonna say he was in Robin Hood Men in Tights, but this was his first. Like Alex said, this is his first and only leading role. So
yeah, he was in I think it was Stars Born recently. He had a bit part in that, and he was he was really, really good at it. He like played this serious role. I was like, oh shit, Dave Chappelle's in this movie. I remember thinking that in the theater.
I haven't seen that,
but there's no reason to see it. But he's really good at it. I was like, oh shit, he could like act because I haven't seen him really act in anything since this.
I'm sure that's clipped and on YouTube somewhere that you can watch just that portion of the film and not have to worry about the rest of it.
Yeah, guys, do yourself a favor, go watch that portion of Stars Born. And
this portion makes me laugh every time. Here we are, how many years later? Every single time he does this.
I'll play it. I just like this face. I'll play it though.
You got to.
This and it's mine. Take it.
Oh!
The way his lips are like quivering.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I need to change coveralls.
Yeah, the physical acting that he does in that is actually really impressive. Like just like the movement.
He keeps it up throughout the movie like that, which is just it's like it sets a precedent for his character the whole movie for you to watch what he's doing, whether he's talking or not.
Yeah, he's a joy to look at, and like you mentioned, he knows when to like make it more reserved. Like he's not at 100 all the time.
Michael Jordan didn't take every shot.
He's not Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah, he's not going to the gym or Robin or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I did like this moment.
You. Okay. Here's it.
I go back.
That's one of my favorite.
You.
He's like, I think I can just grab it. I can get it from him.
Here's a little something for your troubles.
Yo,
Yeah.
thank you. Yo, this is wild. He's just like, yo,
This does not look like good weed, fellas.
No,
Honestly.
I'm not. I don't know what science weed look like. You know what I'm
It
saying?
does-
Like, because
it
science
does
weed
not
might
look
not
good.
need to look good.
That's fair.
Science weed might not need to look good. Let me smoke some
That's
science
fair.
weed, and I will.
Yeah,
let
we'll
you
get back to you. We'll do some experimentation for the fans. Do it for the people.
But if
Take one for the
science weed
team.
is if science weed is anything like what I'm used to, was this what you asked for?
No, but I'll take it.
What you want?
I know, but I'll take
Right.
it.
All right, science weed is if
There you go.
science. Let me forget what I was talking about. God damn it! No,
Sorry.
if science weed is anything like the stuff that we get around here, then science weed is dope. You know? I
I've
don't care
never
what it
had
look
any
like.
weed with the effects that this weed has, though, fellas.
Yeah,
Oh,
And I
man,
wish I
was-
could find that weed.
I did have a brownie once that made me feel that way. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I know which one.
Remember them brownies back in the day?
Korova. Yeah, that was fucking
Man,
sick.
shout out to y'all, Corova. Send me, sponsor us.
Yeah.
I'm
Send
just
me,
gonna shout out and say I'm immune to edibles, so challenge accepted. If anybody thinks they can beat that,
Oh my god,
That's a good way to get free edibles.
Co-
It's like making a challenge for people.
what's it? Corova,
I'll do
right?
it on camera.
Is it
Yeah,
Corova?
I think it's Korova.
It's not Cordova. It's Corova.
It's Korova, yeah.
With
Cordova is a
with
mall.
the cow on the. It's got the cow.
Yeah, it's got
on
like the
front.
weird cow face. Yeah.
Dude, let me just tell y'all, Corova, please send us those 500 milligram, 1,000 milligram brownies, please. You don't have to send them to us, but like, you know what I'm saying.
I'll afford them.
Let us like give us a gift card and we come get them from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make it legal.
So then I can then make this motherfucker Morgan fall asleep.
You can try.
Guys.
It ain't no try. It was only do. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker is on the dark side. This is the Jedi.
Yeah, that shit was really strong.
Like, yeah, anyway. I'm just saying.
There are a few challenges that I just enjoy
Morgan
trying.
Morgan.
Because if I
Morgan,
lose, I
Morgan.
win.
You right?
I ain't never
Yeah.
Morgan, I ain't never felt high off no edible in my life.
Me either.
But that one will put you to sleep, sir. And that's just how that goes.
I believe you. I believe you.
Oh man, great story. No, but I do
I'm gonna tell it Thursday on the Bantha Bunch. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Where the cool kids are. That's why Alex isn't there. I mean,
but
yeah, the next oh no, yeah, we were talking a little bit about Dave.
Well, we were talking a little bit about the entire group.
Right, yeah. I was about to what do you guys think of the performances for Jim and Guillermo as well, like the trio? Morgan?
I think that Jim did great, but Jim does Jim perfectly. He's always the high guy. He's always the funny high guy.
Hi, guy.
You didn't say Harlan Williams, and Harlan Williams is the funniest of all four of them in this movie, and he's in jail the whole movie. But he's the funniest of all four of them. I mean, this guy, and look how young and fresh-faced he was at the time.
Let me introduce these people.
Yo, who's on munchies tonight, yo?
Not me. I guess that'd be me.
Immediately paranoid.
What do you guys want?
Get some sour cream and onion chips with some dip, man. Get some Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, a whole lot of hot. Make sure chocolate. Gotta have chocolate, man. Some popcorn, red popcorn, graham crackers. Chocolate, chocolate, man.
Yeah,
some
that's
popcorn,
what I
red popcorn.
That's exactly a Bill face.
That's where we're stopping at, right? Like, yo, son, the fuck. Like none of that.
I think you've made that
face. It's like none of them go together. Like
he's about to get to the part that goes together.
Everything
because then he makes s'mores.
No, because popcorn. It's the popcorn that fucks it up. It's just like, wait a minute. Popcorn, my nigga. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? But then you realize later, like almost immediately, he's like, well, we back on the same page.
Graham crackers. Graham crackers is the marshmallows, the little marshmallows, and little chocolate bars, and we'll make some s'mores, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
Celery,
saying.
grape jelly, Captain.
Oh,
such a great
man.
moment. I like he did like according to the closed caption, Jim said popcorn, bread, popcorn.
Cornbread and more
Exactly. Like,
popcorn.
what the fuck is that, man? What is that? What is bread popcorn? Put it in the comments. Rachel V, Film Age, somebody, one of y'all,
somebody put in the comments. I'm not in the chat.
Yeah, please tell me what bread popcorn is, please. There is no chat on this one. It's just the comments, but you know what? YouTube started saving the chat now. The chat comments stay now.
Yeah, you can.
That's
that's a cool little feature.
That's right.
So we're coming up on that first line, which is one of those lines that we've used since this movie came out. Which there are many in this movie. But I don't know if you can play this line either. But this is one of those lines that everybody says or used to say for years.
But I don't know.
Sure, we already have said something worse.
Anyone want anything else?
Oh yeah, give me a box of condoms and what's that stuff? I used to eat it all the time back in the day. Pussy. That's right.
You got it. You got it.
That's the confidence of a man that I want to be with.
That's my guy. We had a guy like that in the group.
He said, "You got it, goddamn it.
I'm coming right back.
I'm coming back here with everything y'all asked for and some pussy."
And he gets almost all of it.
Let me no, I want to point out, since we're still in this apartment scene, apparently the director, like I said, she was married to or is married to Mike D of the Beastie Boys. This was designed to look like Grand Royal Records area, like the studio area. Where they used to record.
Yeah.
And our friend Paracon was signed to Grand Royal Records.
That's right.
And these lockers right here and the picture that's next to that's right above the lamp right there are actually from Grand Royal's records. Like those were actually in Grand Royal offices.
That's pretty rad. That's so cool.
Yeah,
shout out to Tamara Davis too, because she also directed CB4, which is like one of
oh my god, she did.
Yeah,
she's done some damn hood classics,
right? She's made some
white lady got some flavor to it. I guess she's she's married to Mike D.
Yeah, she's married to Mike D.
Shout out to Mike D. Shout out to Pasadena. You know what I'm talking about?
And Morgan, you mentioned your MVP is Harlan, right? Harlan Williams.
Yeah, he said Harlan Williams.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Who's yours?
I would have to. I've gone back and forth in my head, but I gotta give it to Jim Brewer, especially like that monologue. He performed it so fucking well. It wouldn't be as iconic as it is if he doesn't deliver it so well. And everybody gets great moments. Guillermo gets a really great moment later on at the Burger Shack. But yeah, like he's the MVP. He makes me laugh so hard. He makes such interesting choices throughout the whole movie. And he just makes me laugh every time.
What about choice? I'm trying to pull up mine right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know who it is.
I want to pull up my favorite one.
I feel you.
Probably Rachel True. Am I right?
Oh no! Shout out to Rachel True though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rachel True.
she's man. We're gonna do some more. We're gonna do some more.
We'll talk about her in a little while.
Rachel True doesn't hold up movies for sure.
What?
Yeah, she's definitely got some more movies on the list
for sure.
You must have been so hungry.
Buttercup.
Oh, Buttercup! I need an ambulance now.
This is my MVP.
Oh, the cop?
My MVP is the motherfucking police officer in this movie. I know motherfuckers don't like police, right? I don't like the police.
This is a devoted officer.
Does this do something different?
I have no idea.
Whoa.
What's happening?
Nifty.
I don't know. I think it's showing.
See y'all in the corner and like some blurriness.
Oh, I see. Okay, there's some bullshit happening on our screen.
Is it blurry or is it showing the?
Well, it keeps getting blurry over Alex, then you, but it's showing the screen. It's showing the screen in the corner.
That's what matters.
What the hell did you give my buttercup?
I just gave him some candy and some chips and some pink popcorn and some Funyuns.
This horse is a diabetic!
Why is he not leaving?
Yeah, like you should.
Right?
We got Kodak in the background. I just want to give that a quick shout out.
Hey.
Shout out to Kodak.
90s.
And Fujifilm.
Man, Fujifilm.
You're under arrest.
What?
You dumb son of a bitch! You're a cop killer!
I love horses. I love
He's a
horses.
kindergarten teacher.
I love butter stuff.
Buttercup! Dang it!
Butternut.
Oh, it never gets old.
Oh, I hope we look normal now.
I thought that you were, I guess, because I actually don't even have the clip.
That's crazy. I never done that share version, like that share screen version.
Yeah, that was weird.
Hope it looked good.
I mean,
Will be. But yeah,
I
like
just hope the video looked good. I mean, we look great, but we don't need to be seen. You know what I mean? It's okay.
But yeah, that was such a super funny scene. It's so stupid that that's what takes him to jail, and he goes to jail immediately. Like he's tried
directly to jail.
Y'all, I think I'll be having the best MVPs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'll be having the best MVPs, man.
I mean, we hadn't got to Harlan's MVP point of the movie yet.
I honestly thought that you were about to give it to the woman, like when Harlan goes up to the horse, he's like, "Hey, are you hungry, girl?" And the black woman behind him says,
yeah,
"You nigga."
Yeah, she is mad. That's the bodega part, right? That was before this.
Yeah,
it was before this, so I can't.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
no, you guys know what that.
Well, we probably shouldn't show the bodega part.
It's explicit instructions on how to score the bodega.
Exactly. And also
a little bitty sack for $50. Like little bitty sack.
He also moons someone. So it's like
black ass. Yeah.
Black ass.
Like,
yeah, that's a super funny scene.
Maybe not.
I loved that joke.
Watching it even feels like sort of going in a time machine of like, just like, or like almost like an instruction, like how instruction manual-ish it is for just like, this is what it was like at this time in this place.
Like in our days, children.
Yeah, it's like there's so many times where it just feels like this is like a cultural stamp on like what we culture is today. And I just thought that like it's kind of cool in that sense, like kind of in the same way that Up in Smoke was that for the 70s.
Yeah, and it has Tommy Chong in it, so
yeah,
it still counts.
So they come. So yeah, like we get set off. Our heroes get their journey because they have their homie go to fucking jail, which seems kind of like prison almost where he's at. But Rikers Island was open at this time, so it's still open actually. But anyway, yeah, he probably went to Rikers more likely than not.
He showed him a mean face.
So yeah, they had to come up with a way to save their best friend, and that way was
I got it. I know how we could get Kenny out. How? Weed, man. We'll sell weed.
Man, you can't up in the side to sell weed. You gotta know people to plug you into that kind of thing.
I do.
Who you know?
You, yo.
I like. Yeah, I love that moment where he's like, "There's got to be forms laying around. They are scientists." And Dave's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like that didn't even make any sense. Yeah, like I like how they arrive at this. The dialogue is still pretty fucking solid, man.
I like how it's such a novel idea. Like, look at his face. Like he just had a gene. Like, dude, totally. There's forms everywhere, right?
So we went through the performances, but what did you think about the music on this one,
Music's pretty whack, in my opinion. It's not that great. I mean, like beyond Sir Smoke a Lot, which is like that song is like hilariously terrible. I think it's supposed to be bad, but even all the songs that they drop in are just like kind of whack. Like I was,
yeah, it's not a award-winning soundtrack by any means.
Yeah,
it was very 90s buddy comedy type shit, like whack a diddle.
Yeah, a lot of corny songs. Like didn't really like create the vibe very well. Like set the tone for the movie, except for when I guess like they do like the more comedic orchestral stuff to just like put stings on jokes or something like that.
Right.
Or like they have like when the music crescendos when Rachel True reveals that her character name is Mary Jane. Dave
Jane
is like
Potman.
super excited about that. But yeah,
It's a lot of that. It's like Scrooge soundtrack.
Yeah, yes,
Theme
Scrooge.
song. I mean theme song, score.
Man.
But speaking of Mary Jane, we get introduced to Mary Jane because the fellas have to go tell what's his name?
Harlan Williams. Shit, what is his name? Something's sweet virgin ass, man.
Yeah,
Kenny. It's Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah,
Kenny,
kindergarten teacher Kenny.
Kenny's in prison or jail, and they gotta go tell Kenny like, "Yo, we got a plan to get you out." He's one of my favorite lines in the movie where he's like, "How long do you think you can hold out?" He said, 3, maybe 5 hours.
Like, he said maybe 5, 6:30.
Oh yeah, 5, 6:30. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is like, yo, y'all better get me the fuck up out of here right there.
That was a great delivery of that too.
But
so
he's a school teacher. Shouldn't he have like some money? So his like bail was like 10,000.
I guess he spent it all on the snacks because that's one thing I was thinking when he came out that store. I was like,
bread.
yeah, this book costs like $400.
It was a lot of snacks,
But
man.
it's like he got, I don't know, man. He only needs like 2,000 of that or something, whatever it was. He only needs 2,000 of that. But so anyway, I don't know.
Actually, yeah.
Like
they act like
been
he's
able
gonna be shocked. Like, oh my god.
They should have been able to get him out. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, they actually that's a good point because they had mentioned that they needed what 10% of $1 million, and that's what 10,000.
Here we go. Watch Alex do math, folks.
That's what he said. Like when, like that's what he said.
Pull it up.
Like 10%, or that's what? No. Oops. No. $1 million and it's $100,000. Okay.
Yeah, no, he ain't got
There
that.
you go. I knew you'd get there eventually. But it was fun to watch you take the journey.
I will be editing this out.
That was not.
Hey, when you grow up, you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket everywhere you go.
Oh man, remember when they said that?
Remember that? Fucking Steve Jobs was like, "I'll show you, bitch."
But okay, that makes a little bit more sense because when I was thinking about it when I was watching it, because I was doing poor math, because
that makes sense.
I was like,
I thought it was a $10,000 bill. So if it was $1 billion, like goddamn,
$100,000.
No, I'm saying it was a $1 million bail. You only need 10% of it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But that's a $1 million bill. Like, goddamn, I thought it was $10,000. You need.
Man, he killed a police officer. That's an expensive bail, man.
I mean, he killed a horse police officer.
To New Orleans and mess with one of those horses and see if they don't put your ass under the jail.
He killed butter stuff.
Butternuts.
Stuff. Yeah, I love how seriously they're taking it too. It's like, you killed one of our own.
And he's sitting there, why? Instead of running away.
They take it kind of that serious, but if he had fed the damn horse something, or the horse ate something, I don't know if they would be like that serious with it. It's like, clearly this motherfucker is just guilty of being stupid.
Right? Yeah, he didn't feed him bad food on purpose.
I mean, he did, but
I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I know you look like a diabetic horse. Yeah.
The way your eyes is black around here is black discoloration right here. You look like you got diabetes. Diabetes horse. But yeah, we get introduced to.
Hey guys. Meet Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yo, we want to burn one.
No. This is Mary Jane. Meet her. Say hello to her. Shake her hand even.
Oh, dear.
Hi.
Act like a goddamn person.
Hey. Listen, do you guys need a ride? I have a car. You don't have to take the subway.
Ah, you smoke?
No, my
It's so funny because
grandmother died of lung cancer.
Damn, how many different ways she got to not like smoking?
yeah, like
she just said
every way, every single way.
Well, she just said, goddamn, that her dad. Well, we didn't hear it, but her dad is in jail. That's why she's there visiting.
Yeah.
She's there visiting her dad. Well, then
and then her granddad died.
Now my grandmama died from lung cancer. God damn.
Yeah.
This is the most depressing introduction to
This is a family that cannot learn a lesson to save their lives.
My mother was the Marlboro man.
That wasn't my point. My point was just like this is how much you share when you first meet someone,
right.
And you give him and his weird friends a ride.
Like all three of y'all can just climb into my car. I wouldn't have given them a ride.
Yeah. I will say, like, this is my least favorite part of the movie is Mary Jane. I feel like you could probably take her out of the movie and it would work really solid. Because the love story just doesn't work for me. I don't think she has any chemistry with Dave, really. Like any.
I like that. I got some booty scene though. I think
he's a carrot on a stick,
like
man.
That. Yeah,
they had some chemistry on that one.
That's all she is. She's the carrot on a stick to get him to give up weed, so that it's funny at the end. Like that's the only reason she's there.
But that storyline doesn't even. I don't feel like needs to happen. Like we don't need to see him struggling with needing to quit smoking weed. It feels like some weird producer note where they're like, well, they have to stop smoking weed at the end because this is like
they have to stop smoking weed at some point.
Because this was the dare years, boys. This was the dare years.
Right. Yeah.
But also, like she calls him to the apartment and it's like, is that your apartment or your friend's apartment? Because you're always there every scene that we see at the apartment. And he would have known that was your apartment. So like none of that worked for me. I was like, this could all be taken out of this movie and we could have a hysterical time watching Kenny sing in the shower for like another 15 minutes and you could have filled the time and we'd have had a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, if we got more Kenny and more Dave and the scientists.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
that would be really, really perfect. But
right. I mean, she does a great job. Don't get me wrong. She does a great job. I'm not knocking the actress or her performance at all. I'm just saying that whole storyline is unnecessary.
Yeah, not
unnecessary AF. Her character could have kept. We could have kept her like in our scenario, like where we wrote a movie that, that made money. I think that she could have been in it more, and her character could have had a different role.
Yeah.
Like there shouldn't have been this like will he or won't he stop smoking weed type situation. Like you said, I think they just could have used her way better.
Converted her.
You could have. She just.
Maybe if they used her as a way of like making it show he like, oh, I want to mature for her, not necessarily I need to stop smoking weed, but just like I need to stop doing this silly shit with my friends, or just like a more maturity tale rather than like a morality.
He needs to demature her. He needs to get her down with burning. Like she needs to be down, and then she's helping run Mr. Nice Guy, and like that would have been a much more fun movie.
I think
in this direction.
I just think that she should have just been with smoking. Period.
Yeah.
Not no converting her into nothing because that's weird.
Right. That is kind of weird.
At least when you say it.
Weird word. Weird wording.
But I just she should have been there because then she would have had to interact with the other girl, the white girl that we end up seeing.
Yeah.
And we would have actually passed the Bechdel test.
Right. They could have done that.
But they don't pass it in this. I want to play this infamous scene because
the next line that we used for eternity.
Once they start making some money from selling some weed, the guys get a little cocky. They, they're just like, you know what? Fuck working. I can make money selling weed.
Yeah.
That heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Now, what's interesting about this is That's Neil Brennan right there.
That's Neil Brennan standing right there.
Still waiting on the heifer,
I
Julio.
want to get a good clip of him.
Fuck you.
Before the glasses.
Young Neil.
Before the glasses. Yeah.
The people have been have said this over and over and over again. Like, this is one of those things. Even if you've never seen this movie, you know this quote. Like, it's fucking iconic. So perfect, and it's so perfect for so many reasons. Like, that guy who gives him the thumbs up is so fucking weird looking. Like,
right?
It's like, what is going on there? Who is he?
Sorry, I keep changing it, guys.
What does that sign say in the back? His Royal Venus or something?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, his Royal Venus. Is that where they're at? I guess. Oh, because of penis.
Maybe.
No, like penis.
Yeah, I mean,
Not Royal Venus.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, that's got to be what it is, right?
Probably.
Like, what
that
other reason is there?
It looks like a movie's.
Oh wait, we're blocking it. But yeah,
y'all are blocking it, but I can see it pop in when Alex disappears.
Royal Venus.
Venus.
May I?
Maybe Venus.
Yeah. No, Venus. It's Venus. Like penis.
Like penis.
Yeah.
Penis. How many more times can we say penis? We're so mature.
Oh, yeah, mature people say penis, right?
Yeah.
I can say penis on like network television. Do we have any? Well, what were you about to say?
Well, I was gonna talk about like the introduction of our villains, since that kind of what happens next in the story.
Well, before we get to that, cameos.
Yeah, we got a lot of cameos.
Yeah,
cameos. I just want to, because we're not gonna go through every cameo, but
we're gonna do cameos on weed.
Yeah, what is your favorite cameo, Morgan? I mean, I'm gonna
Jon Stewart.
We're gonna be on mute right this second, so we'll let you go. But just so you know, don't get weirded out because we go on mute.
Okay, got you. So my favorite cameo in this movie is obviously Jon Stewart. He's a comedic genius. My guy comes in and he's talking about, have you seen this movie on weed? Have you eaten pizza on weed? And that's another line that we use to this day to make fun of stuff. So he's probably the best cameo, in my opinion, comedically. But then there's Squirrel Master. And and so you got to call out Squirrel Master. You can't let him get behind because, you know, he's got your back. He's your baby butter back pocket bitch. And he, you know, Harlan's like, I'm somebody's bitch. So like his whole role in the movie was it was perfect for me. And I wish Jon Stewart had had more time, but I'm really glad that they gave Squirrel Master the time that he got.
Yeah, super funny character, and you know, obviously, weed icon.
Absolutely.
He's what we call an enhancement smoker because he thinks that marijuana makes every activity that much better.
The whole room is green.
Observe.
You're Scarface, right? Yeah. I love Al Pacino, man. Did you ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
Have you ever seen Son of a Woman on weed? That's the way to see it, man.
I like how he leans in because it's like a secret.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I don't know.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man?
No, I don't know, yo.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill on weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man.
Guillermo is dying there, guys.
Yeah,
he's trying to stay in character so hard.
He's like, look, man, we gotta end this scene.
Who is this guy that y'all hired to be this character? Because this is crazy.
I don't know if I can deal with this motherfucker. This motherfucker, wow, y'all.
And I feel like even stoners, another group of stoners that fall into that group are like the people who tell you some shit like it's the most profound shit. It's like, oh, you're gonna, this is gonna blow your fucking
people
mind,
on cocaine do
bro.
the same thing. Who was your favorite cameo, Alex?
My favorite cameo is probably gonna sound trite, but I think it's Snoop Dogg. Though I really like Janine Garofalo's. That's like a close second. But I really like Snoop Dogg's cameo in this. He's just so funny. He's only in there for a second, but
it's interesting because it's like right after that scene that Morgan just picked. Like,
oh yeah. This is like a great stoner cameo montage.
yeah, it's like funny because y'all just picked the exact same fucking, basically the same minute, 2 minutes of movie.
Has weed of their own, but as soon as you smoking, here they come. Damn.
What up, dog?
What's
up, dog? Get off. Let me get in here, man. What y'all doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's chilling.
I smell it. Let me inhale it. Let me hear something.
Smell it. Let me
All
inhale
right,
it.
man, just go and hit you. Scavenger.
I ain't even hit the motherfucker yet. That's too bad, man. I just stopped smoking yesterday. Y'all stay up, man.
So
Nice seeing
stupid.
you.
It's like you're smoking all my weed right
You
now.
should have been there. A scavenger.
Oh yeah, and I
The
do
dragon
like-
lungs.
Also, just quick. Well, I'll let you say your cameo.
No, go ahead. Say what you got.
Well, I just quick shout outs to also Willie Nelson's performance of this too, because I thought that he was just so natural and fun. Like
in our day.
Yeah, like some, we'll get a cameo because they're a big star. It doesn't really work out because they're actually not a good actor. But goddamn, he's so funny and so natural. I want to watch you in a whole ass movie, bro. Why didn't you have a great acting career after?
Well,
You do?
You know what? They
Like a long cameo in a movie one time where he was a character for a while.
Yeah, but they don't. That was some shit they used to do in the 70s and 80s a little bit. But yeah, like he definitely should have rode that wave right after this. He should have rode it. You know what I mean? But he tours all the time, so I think that is.
How many more waves does Willie Nelson need?
It would have just been way too. It would have took away from his music.
Yeah,
and I don't think he would have been down for that. You know what I mean?
Hell,
This
back
is
in
my
69,
MVP.
Smoking shit on the street. I shouldn't say that. Hell, he's
Not my
getting high,
MVP.
too.
My favorite cameo.
Hell, they's getting hot too.
Oh, it wasn't a thing to do because it was a thing to do, It was a thing to do because it got you high. Can you dig it?
I feel you. Nah,
I was like, yeah, I can dig
I hate
it,
to do it, but I gotta charge it. That's $60.
$60.
Yeah.
Man, I remember when a dime bag cost a dime. You know what I mean? You know how much condoms used to cost back in them days?
How much?
I don't know. We never used them.
Fucking awesome.
Which is how most of us are here.
Oh man, I would have picked. I would have picked Tom. Oh, excuse me. I would have picked Tommy Chong, but he was like a character more than a cameo.
Yeah, he does get a lot of scenes. Yeah,
he's like in.
He's around a lot.
Does Laura Silverman count as a cameo or a character?
I think she also felt
she's a cameo
character.
Wait, who?
Jan.
Yeah, Jan. Yeah, from the record store. And I could have done with
I guess you could count. What about the guy on the couch?
He's definitely a character.
Yeah,
he's definitely a character.
What's his name again?
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
Great character.
Fucking great.
Bill and I have
stand-up.
seen many times in our lives where there was a guy on the couch, and it's not always been the same guy, but it's typically
I've even
exactly
been
like that movie.
I've even been. Well, no, I've never been that guy.
I love the moment where
I have been a guy on the couch, but never the guy.
On the couch. Yeah.
I love this.
I'm getting up. Goddamn.
Skipping ahead a little bit, but like I did like the moment where he finally talks. And he's like, they're like, "Hey, could you move out, please?" And he's like, "Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine."
Guys, focus on Kenny's
need to
sweet
focus
virgin
on-
butthole.
Yeah, what you need to do is focus on getting Kenny out of jail.
The robbery is what's important.
Robbery
now.
is what's important now. Oh my god,
So fucking good.
So did we
I don't
miss
have
the
that clip.
date?
Man, I don't have that clip.
Did we miss the first date, the $8 date?
Oh
yeah,
no,
the
we
cheer, the
have
cheat
not
day.
missed anything, sir. We got you.
$8 date.
Because yeah, after they start selling weed, or
When they put all the money in the weed.
Mary Jane calls him and says, "Let's go out on a date," but they ain't got no money now because they put it all into weed, like you just said, Morgan. And man, this is definitely this probably did not do this set dates back like 100 years.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
People like, oh man, yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. Like grifters and fucking con were just like
McDonald's dates just started happening.
They started taking notes like a motherfucker. Like if you want to talk about weed as a gateway drug, then fucking this is a gateway to stealing from people. And
Hey, the guys with hot dog carts though, they were
I
fully
was mad though
this as a union.
I was mad that Mary Jane was like, yo, you said you were gonna take me for ice cream. Like, hold on, bitch. Wait a minute. I said, why that got to be today? I said, I'll take you out for ice cream sometime. Don't you want to save some of the passion? Don't you
we just had a hot dog, like a whole big piece of meat.
Like, why don't we just chill? Why don't we chill a little bit?
And then I was thinking about like how inflation is real because like you got that big ass ice cream thing for $3 and some change.
Man, yeah, let's talk about it.
Come at the worst time, man. I was flat broke. All my money was tied up in our drug dealing venture. I only had $8. This was gonna take some careful budgeting and
looking good.
Hey, Rachel.
Good.
Maneuvering. Watch the mess.
Very 90s. Just want to point out the platforming.
This is gonna take some careful budgeting and maneuvering.
She is scary spicing it up right here.
Spice up your life. Yeah, she got them Spice Girl shoes,
dude. Scary Spice. Almost my baby. Almost.
Dave. Oh yeah. And Dave.
He had only called back.
Shit.
If I'd only just had my shit together.
He was wearing janitor chic.
It's like Bill Maher. He said, I missed out on a lot of women because he never answered text messages.
Yeah, that was funny.
The master at work. You look great. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
You know what? I was thinking it's so nice out. Want to go for a walk?
Yeah.
Now that's the first trick, you guys. So we start out with $8.
Yeah, $8.
I feel like I'm in
$8 on the board.
I feel like I'm in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Only 4 gallons.
4 gallons.
So how do you manage to
3 hours and 14 miles later? And
14 miles, guys.
One penny.
Now see, you can do that in New York City though. You can do that in New York City. You can walk around, you can talk to a girl. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, I used to work over here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you from? Oh, you know, my cousin's from over there. My cousin's from over there. Oh, yeah. No, my grandma used to live in Queens, right there.
Yeah, down the road.
One of my favorite lines from Futurama is when Fry says, "Oh, nobody drives in New York. There's too much traffic." So yeah, it's like people are walking all the time.
Shout out Futurama.
And also having traffic and nobody driving is so fucking funny.
It's so funny. It's such a stupid joke.
This is going to be my pet peeve part of the movie, too, in just a second.
Eat it.
And then it happened.
I'm
and then it happened,
too.
y'all.
Hey, you want to eat at the Happy Palace?
How about a hot dog? Huh? Hey, what luck?
Hot dog.
Yeah.
I hate the way she says hot dog.
I have a
That's the only time she has a New York accent.
I hate it. She says
hot dog.
Dog.
Alex,
every time.
Remember that time you said tell the French story, the French accent story.
Oh, the French accent story. Oh yeah,
Tell it quickly.
So I was in a play in college. And the character that I was playing was French. One of its personalities was French. Anyway, and we went through weeks and weeks of rehearsal. And I was working on the accent. A few days before we opened, my director was like, "Yeah, he doesn't have to be French." It's like you're not cracking this accent.
So if you had learned French, the same thing happens in France, because if you start trying to speak French badly in France, they all immediately know English. It's the weirdest thing.
It's crazy. I mean, oh man, no, I ain't got much more to say. I just wanted you to tell that because it's like they could have just told her, "Don't do that."
Yeah, it's like, hey, stop.
It's clearly a decision that she made on her own.
Yeah.
A hot dog with ketchup and sauerkraut, please.
Sauerkraut's 50 cents extra.
Damn! I have not
Charge her 50 cents extra because of that accent.
had a hot dog so long.
Come on.
So now you got $5.50, you guys. But
$5.50.
Let's get out of here.
This is the violation.
Hey, drink with that?
son of a bitch.
Yes. Can I have a please?
You son of a
That's
bitch.
the violation right there.
Didn't you promise me ice cream the other day?
And that's where I got a problem.
That's
You just got a hot dog and a drink.
We eating hot dog right now. Actually, I ain't even get nothing. Right. Now you want?
Yeah, he ain't eating nothing.
Now you want ice cream?
Didn't you promise me ice cream the other day? I know a really good place uptown.
You ain't even got into your
Right,
hot
let's
dog
hook
yet.
it.
She didn't bite that at all.
Do you mind if
Hold on.
Right? That's movie eating.
That's movie eating. Look,
Yeah.
she great
She doesn't-
at that.
Yeah.
Watch.
Great, let's hoof it.
That shit
That's still a
not
full
even-
hot dog there.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's not
full
even-
hot dog. Nothing burnt, nothing.
She looked like she took a piece off
She
it.
looked like she
Everything.
snatched something back with that. Bro.
That's a professional. She looked like it tastes bad too.
acting.
Good food acting.
Great
Yeah.
food acting. I mean, great acting altogether, but
Great, let's hoof it.
oh my god. She
you mind
clearly
if we
don't got
take a
nothing in
cab
her mouth.
this
Yeah.
time?
Sure, we take a cab.
But yeah, a cab that costs $4.50 is fucking amazing.
Yeah, right? Where did y'all go?
1998,
down the
fellas.
No, let me tell you something. That means that they went right down the street, and this bitch is lazy as fuck. We gotta drive. We gotta drive.
Call it lazy, man. They just did 14 miles
Yeah,
on
they
foot.
did.
So what's two blocks? Is 450?
Yeah, that's fair. It's uptown. Uptown.
No, man, fuck that. Fuck that.
Guys,
Like,
leave it in the comments. What were if you were in New York in the late 90s, what were the cab fares like? We got
We gotta know.
no, look, it was 425.
425. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was
Is this
425.
fiction?
Left him with a
Is this-
quarter.
Or it was $4 and he gave him a quarter because he says you should be happy with the tip I gave you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Be happy with the tip I gave you.
So either the trip costs $2 or $1 or goddamn it costs $4.
I would love it if it cost $4 and you gave him a quarter.
Gave him a quarter as a tip.
Well, regardless, is such a low
1 star.
It's low enough that they could have walked.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
care how her feet feel. They gonna feel the same when we get to the ice cream shop because we ain't really going nowhere. We walk down the street, we can see.
But
the
we're
damn
about to
ice
see a
cream shop.
professional in action, gentlemen.
Or
A
maybe we
professional
just
in action.
we being too serious with the prices, right? Like maybe we should just suspend our disbelief a little.
Best ice cream in town.
Better drink you some food. Oh. Don't mind if I do.
Thank you, brother.
No. Thank you.
So sincere.
And that's how you come back up, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I mean, that scene is classic. Classic. I already gave my MVP. Morgan,
yo,
is there anything in here? Well, you know what? We haven't talked about one performance.
Yeah, that's right.
We missing one performance that we haven't talked about, and that
What's that?
is Samson.
Yes, Clarence Williams III, R.I.P. He plays the villain in this movie called Samson, and he is a fucking character.
And he's got ninjas.
Yeah. What did you think of Clarence Williams III as this? And are you a fan of the actor? Like, because he's one of those character actors who's been in a bunch of shit.
He's amazing. He's amazing every time he's on film because he makes you believe he's the bad guy. Like, you really think he's paralyzed. You really think he's in a wheelchair, man.
Right.
Like, he's acting as a guy who's acting. So he's like Inception acting. So, and he's got ninjas that, with full titties. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, he's clearly very like very showy, and like he's trying to put on this persona, even down to being paralyzed. And he does have one of my favorite moments that's like almost like I don't even understand what's really going on. I guess like Dave's trying to pretend that the operator just patched in on their conversation. Like, did they do that in the 1990s?
No, so back they did it all the way up until like the early 90s. You
Okay.
could still get patched in certain areas of the world, Yeah.
Okay.
But no,
still a
that was
little
not a
dated.
thing. Yeah, it was not a
1998
thing. And that's why he was like, bitch.
Oh, that was so great.
Now, during this time, let's not forget that while all this funny stuff is going on, our main man, Penny, is sitting in there and he's going, I'm not a fish, and trying to protect that man ass.
You said it too loud and it cut out. What did you say?
He said, I'm not a fish. Over and over. I'm not a fish. I'm not a fish. I'm not a fish. Save the man ass. I'm not a fish. And Nasty Nate's just over there. He's got a calendar of Nasty Nate, which bothered me. I didn't understand
the calendars. Are they selling prison calendars?
That was a special order from Nasty Nate that he went and put in his cell. Like one of these days, Squirrel Master's getting out.
I was Mr. April.
Did you get my message? Who is this? This is Samson, Smarty Pants.
Operator with an emergency breakthrough from your sister. Samson and Sheila. Mama failed. Shut up, bitch.
The message was that he killed Killer, right?
Face. He got his hand on his mouth.
Oh man, Samson got the hair. Samson got the rollers in with the clamp. He got the rollers.
Yeah, the rollers.
But then he got the pink clamps down on top of the rollers so that the hair don't pop up off the roller.
Right,
yo, he is doing some straight cold ass pimp shit. That's why he got on that goddamn Jaguar suit.
Right, that's a
because he's
ass
cold.
jacket.
That's real Jaguar.
Samson and Sheila. Mama failed. Shut up, bitch.
Oh my God. Mama failed. Mama failed.
You gonna talk bad about Mama?
I mean,
was the message that he sent? Wasn't that where he killed Killer?
Yeah, that was where he
killed. He killed Killer B.
Where he killed Killer B. You're absolutely right.
And that's when we get another really great monologue from Jim Brewer, where he tells this nonsensical story about the life of Killer.
The life of
Killer. Had that. I thought we had that.
I think his funeral, I think, is in there. Or maybe it's not.
I liked when he got Killer, because that's when Brewer gets the ashes. That's when Mary Jane got a pearl necklace. And then Killer flew out the window.
Clearly, you missed the point of that story.
And then right after that, he's adopted by this man, Tito Leibowitz.
Tito Leibowitz.
Small-time gun runner and
let me tell you something. We have never met a character in a movie that did not like a character who played like a bigger part in a movie than this motherfucker, and never seen him.
Never had a single line.
Never heard his words come out of his mouth.
Never said a thing. Tito Leibowitz.
We all know what he sounds like.
Tito Leibowitz. First of all, how he got a Jewish German name and his name is Mexican.
Right.
He Mexican and Jewish German.
Mohawk.
Look at that. Funny. Well, I think that's just like almost a toupee flying up. Almost like that might be a little Donald Trump action going on right there.
I think they said he's like small-time gun runner too.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get a little bit of this.
Tito Leibowitz. He's a small-time gun runner and Rottweiler fight promoter.
Fight promoter.
Oh my gosh.
On the side.
Which I just wanted to show, like, we do not support any any dog fighting of any kind. But it does show you that it was not just like a cultural black thing to fight dogs. Like,
yeah, even Tito Leibowitz is doing it.
Like the white dude is the one who even mentions it in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, white people used to fight dogs too. Shit.
Yeah, a lot of people do terrible.
You know what I'm saying? They used to say it was a cultural thing.
Right.
So he puts Killer into training. Next thing you know, Killer's good. He is damn good. But then,
he got that tired.
He had the fight of his life.
He got it.
Pit him against his brother Nibbles. But anyway, and that's it. He called up all his fights, and he started doing crack and freaked out. And then in a rage, collapsed. And his heart no longer beat.
one of the funniest things about this story is that like he's positing the idea that all this happened in the course of them like while they were gone. Like he lived his entire life.
And the guy on the couch is right there.
No, it's like the premise is that he did all that stuff. Now he's with them, and then he's just been doing drugs the whole time he's been with them, and then he died.
But so he got adopted as a crackhead. Like
he got adopted.
He was definitely a crackhead when he got there.
Depressed.
Right. Okay.
He got adopted while he was depressed, and then while he was living there,
that's what he. Okay.
They made money, man, and he spent the money
so you gotta
that
put
Mary Jane would have got on the pearl necklace on the crack.
You got to put the X-Men right, the X-Files right here, because see what happened is, bro, is that Killer had already been depressed, but when he was around all that smoke and damn high, he went out the window. He came back a different man. He used to start doing hard drugs. He couldn't get to that high. And then Killer died. Now, Neil Brennan mentioned that he don't like this movie. Dave said that he don't like this movie either because they said basically it didn't get made the way that they wanted it to. They got chopped up a lot and they didn't have the balls to stop, to stand up and be like, no, we're not going to do this. This is their first movie and they had no idea how to do any of this shit.
Right.
When they say it was their first movie, I mean, like they had never been on set at a movie.
Yeah.
So it was like,
we need a remake,
and that's gotta be.
We need a remake on
the Chappelle cut,
or just make another good movie.
Just make another good movie that has people smoking weed in it, like they did with Pineapple Express. You can't get a half baked, make a Pineapple Express. You know what I'm saying? So we just need another good pot movie.
Yeah, we need the new.
They tried with High too, but I don't think either one of them people who smoke weed.
Who's in High too?
They used Lil Yachty and
oh yeah,
and man, I can't remember the other dude's name. BC Young Fly, and he's funny.
He is funny.
BC Young Fly is a fucking funny ass motherfucker. But
I didn't see that one.
I'm pretty sure he don't smoke weed. He don't do drugs. He don't smoke weed.
Yeah, it didn't feel right the whole movie.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But he doesn't smoke weed. If he does smoke weed, he's not a weed smoker that smokes all the time type shit. They definitely should have got like Wiz Khalifa and
so I was thinking Wiz Khalifa
and what's that dude's name?
Woody Harrelson?
Oh no.
Jack Harlow.
The younger dude. What's his name? Bill Urquhart. That's
there you
right.
go. That guy. That young guy
up in that bitch. Me and Wiz. Oh my God. Come on, right? Like that would have been crazy.
Black and yellow.
That'd have been crazy. Because we would have been going in college, blazing it up. You know what I'm saying? He could have been the science nigga, right?
Right.
I love scientists.
I could buy Wiz as the scientist guy.
Yeah, like he's the science nigga, and I'm like the wild, crazy nigga who might punch you in the face, but also is really sweet and fun and charismatic.
Yeah, like and to your point, like who knows what the version of Dave and Neil's movie would have been like if they had made it just the way they wanted. Could have turned out like shit because like to your point, they didn't know really what they were doing. Like this is their first time making a movie, or it could have been like like more like Clerks, I guess, or something like that, where it's like a little more grounded.
I think what would have happened is the movie would have been just as good, maybe better. Certain things make a little bit more sense pace wise if you have certain scenes in there. I think the voiceover probably is what bothers them the most.
The voiceover,
Dave explaining what's going on, because it kind of doesn't make sense at a certain point. And it's almost like they're using that to just piece together the clips that they edited. Like they just, hey, we're going to chop this up how we chop it up. And we're just going to have Dave come in and explain away everything. Which, if that's what happened, fucking amazing job. Like a fucking amazing job of putting a film together. because clearly they did chop it up a lot, and it still plays well. Like as far as the pacing goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it was and Morgan, I'm curious how you feel about this. I do think it was a good call for whether it's like Tamara Davis or like the I guess like the producers' choices to make it more of like a wacky vibe, more silly, and like have these cool moments like where people look at the camera and it's sort of a wink and nod to the audience where we're not taking anything like too seriously. But like, do you feel that's cool? Or would you like something more like an Atlanta vibe where it's just like serious but funny, like but still
2024? In 2024, I would like something with probably a different vibe. In 1998, man, they had to make it funny. They had to make it zany, like, oh, you'd be crazy to be these crazy potheads.
Yeah.
They're feeding police horses, because that's the only way weed was acceptable at that point. It was still not legal anywhere. So
it had to be weird.
They had to make all the characters eccentric and weird. Like Jane, shout out Sarah Silverman's sister. She she had to be the weird one who's like, yeah, I'll randomly leave with the guy who lost his job at a record store. Like, yeah, let me do that and let me go run his weed empire. Ha ha ha. Like, it had to be crazy in order for it to get past the censors in 1998.
Right. Yeah, everything that we said about that previously.
Which is why the kids loved it, because it was crazy and zany. And Dave dumbed it down for
Well,
us.
I mean, everybody loved it.
Funny.
I mean, we just showed you the numbers. Like, it came out and it made money, right? Like, the people were speaking, right? The people, and even let's just say that it was true that people were spoken in the theaters when this came out. That means people was enthusiastic AF to go see it. They were so enthusiastic they were gonna risk going to fucking jail.
Yeah, smoking.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're sitting there, if you're inside smoking in a public place, smoking anything in a public place, you're gonna get kicked out. Like, like a movie theater or whatever,
right?
At that time. But if you're smoking motherfucking weed, nigga, like, you might as well just do cocaine right there, because you're going to jail
quieter,
for the same
nobody
reason.
can smell it. You're
going to jail for the same reason.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for doing drugs in a theater, like, and drugs is illegal, cuz. So yeah, that was very interesting, but I just feel like this movie, man, I feel like it made sense at the time to everybody who was going to see it.
Yeah.
Well, men, women, children, adults. If you was a children, you were going to see it, man. You need better parents. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no reason for this. Ain't nothing that's that bad for a kid to see. But also,
it was really colorful.
Yeah.
You should just be better as a parent, just like your kid dipping and dodging into theaters.
Yeah.
Come on,
man. Man, this is the Blockbuster era. That's how I saw this movie. I didn't see it in the theater. So it was Blockbuster movie. So the cover is very colorful. So it looks like a kid's movie.
Saying,
so your parents are like, yeah, go ahead and get that.
Yeah, no.
You got away with it.
Yeah, no, look, like I said, we watched it on cable, boy. We watched it on HBO, home box office, goddamn. Like,
yeah, go to your friend's
Shout
house.
out to Old School Table. I swear that was
it was at our house.
Oh, okay.
It was at our house. But Adam had the remote. Why? Sometimes he used to have the remote.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
He's famous.
Coming over to our house and using the remote. What's up with you, man?
I did want to mention that.
I'm just joking, man. I love you. Where are you at?
Cold.
I forgot to mention this. That'd be fun.
He does need to be on Does It Hold Up.
I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about cameos that apparently Dave Chappelle asked Harrison Ford to do a cameo in the movie, but he turned it down.
What's his name? Samson almost quit.
Oh, really?
He said he was done. He was like, man, y'all get this shit together. So they had to get Jim Brewer to come back to do another scene, even though he thought he was done for the day. He got high, and they said that was the only time anyone was actually high on the set. Everybody did a really good job of getting high, like as soon as they were done.
Right.
But they basically, stayed away from it, and he accidentally they called him back because what's his name was like, yo, we either get this scene done today or I'm leaving. and I'm not coming back.
Right.
Because he probably had another movie that was actually going to pay him.
It's going to be a success.
Right.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he makes, well, at least like from 98 till 2008, he probably made a lot of money on residuals on this movie. Getting
That's fair.
Nonstop replays on all the premium.
We probably sent him a lot of those residuals.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
yeah,
like
Comedy
definitely.
Central or whatever.
Then DVDs, blockbuster shit goes into that too. That too. So you did. You supported it. It's kind of like Mallrats, but it made more money than Mallrats.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately.
You know what I mean? Like but Mallrats made money though.
Right.
As on the front end and the back end.
And it was also a iconic pushing the limits movie for its time. So
exactly.
Yeah, they really went all out with that movie. I remember the
much,
controversy.
Pretty much like a lot of the movies. This falls into that category of doesn't hold up where it's transformative. You know, like you go back to 1998, you don't watch this movie thinking, man, in 20-something years, man.
Yeah, people are
gonna be talking about this like it's archaic. You know what I mean? Like nobody thought like California at this point right now, the making of this video, California will have legalized marijuana for like 20 years.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah, like the way that we see weed and everything is so much different now. It's been so much more modernized and popularized.
Yeah.
So like everybody who's cool smokes weed, you know.
I will say in Alabama, in southern state Alabama in 1998, girls would straight up be just like Mary Jane and be like, "Oh, you smoke weed? Well, we can't date. Jesus said we can't date." And that'd be the end of the conversation, man.
Yeah, but
hometown-
most of them have 2 to 3 kids and 2. Well, I'll be nice. 20 to 120 extra pounds on them right now.
This is mostly facts. I'm just going through the Rolodex, and
and also
I hate it. I hate it.
Also,
I got a little extra myself.
Yeah. Shout out to never mind.
Whoa.
Inappropriate shout outs. That's our next segment.
There you go.
But then the movie kind of wraps up with we get the sting because our boys get arrested after they have a failed attempt of stealing weed.
Well, you didn't go over when they go to Samson though, like when they actually go in and they get the crossbow out and everything.
Well, we don't have that clip, so that's why we don't talk about that.
Oh yeah,
because that's one of the inappropriate jokes that you wouldn't be able to sue today. That doesn't hold.
Oh, which one? I don't remember.
Where he's sitting there and he comes in being the Jamaican guy, and Samson looks at him and goes, "Have you smoked yourself retarded?"
Oh no. We do have that one. You said when they met him. Okay, so yeah, we got.
Yeah, like when she comes out the crossbow, number 814.
I thought you meant when.
Oh no, like when
I thought you meant when Scarface got.
Yeah, no.
What is it? Ambushed.
Yeah, when he shows up, like, this is a trap, yo.
I wish I had the scene with the cops, with the detectives in the van.
My god, that's hysterical.
But that's a Cheech and Chong joke, right? In the van, getting everybody smoked out. That's a Cheech and Chong.
I love where he hands him the lighter and he says, "Thank you, officer."
Right here in my bag. Samson.
Or where Jim Brewer is like, I must say, that was genius.
Yeah. Like, dude, why are you so mad?
He's like, motherfucker, just smoking, dude. Hey, that shit is so funny because dead ass, it was impressive.
It was
and
impressive.
also, it's the first time you see Jim Brewer's character just literally be completely cognitive. Because he's looking at him, if you're Dave, he's looking at him like this. Oh,
smartest thing ever.
For you viewers, for you people just listening, I just did some amazing acting. You know what I'm saying? I just did some Emmy Award winning shit. Emmy Award, because this is a TV show.
Yeah.
Or Webby Award. By the
Webby.
way, we didn't get nominated for a Webby this year. I'm upset. But now that I know how it works, can y'all help us get nominated for a Webby this year? Please.
But yeah, then you were about to pull up the clip of like how this film ended. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No. I was about to pull up the
the abracadabra.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you know where we can score some cocaine?
You want some candy?
No thanks. But some cocaine.
Pure cocaine. Candy makes you dandy.
This is all the cocaine we get for 10 G's, B?
You've got to be the dumbest dealers in the history of a dope game.
Oh, you mean the game that you run, yo?
Ooh. So yeah, we didn't get the retarded version. We didn't get that part in here. I'm just gonna play this.
Okay. Thank you very much for the.
Hold on.
Get some cocaine and get the hell out. Just call me Jesse Owens.
That's
Jesse
my favorite
Owens.
shit. He said, "Do you
The game
run
that you run, yo?
the game that you run?" And he said,
Just call me Jesse Owens.
"Nigga,
Shit.
that is some cold-blooded shit."
Just call me Jesse. That's a pimp.
Just call me Jesse Owens. He said, "Jesse, can we get some cocaine and get the fuck out of here?"
Peace.
I think
abracadabra.
Yeah, hot take. I think that Samson is Tedros' daddy.
Cadabra.
You think that he's whose daddy?
He's Tedros' daddy.
Ooh, I like it.
Tedros is Tedros.
If you like it, I love
Tedros
it.
is Tedros. Guys, put it in the comments. Let me know what
You
you
have carte blanche to say that kind of thing, but I may not. I might not have carte blanche. So.
Carte blanche.
Yeah, we'll see what the people in the comment section think. But yeah, then this movie kind of ends like with a weird Batman, like 60s Batman style fight scene between our three heroes.
It's amazing.
Samson's henchmen. It's pretty funny. What do you guys think of just like the way that this wrapped up? Because there's it just keeps on with the sort of cartoony kids movie for adults.
I mean,
yeah, campy.
That's a pity.
That's a
well,
That's
yeah.
a
Granted,
pity.
that is one not kids movie moment,
Right? As a
Yeah.
kid watching this movie, are you kidding me? That's a titty. That's not even like a regular HBO titty that's in the squiggly lines. That's the real deal. And then Samson goes, ah.
You said it's the real deal, but or it is a fully man.
Yeah,
man.
A
Fully.
total bully.
Yes, that's it. That's it. A fully man.
Fully man. I haven't been able to really do any impersonations because my throat
It's a good one.
is gone. But I can do that one a little bit still.
Okay, also the piranha to the neck.
That's so silly.
One of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is just the random piranha to the neck.
That was some that was some Adam West Batman type shit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, it was so incredible. Did you have a favorite moment for like this fight? Because like there's like the
titty.
too. Yeah, the titty. Yeah, everybody remembers
the titty. Or when Simpson stood up.
Oh, so Samson standing up, it was great.
He's like, ha ha ha!
Yes, Cuban B.
Yes, Cuban B. He's like, I got your little Mexican friend. He's like, I'm Cuban B.
Yes, Cuban B. I love it. He thinks that he has a Mexican friend named Cuban B. So great. Oh, man.
And then Jerry Garcia got to come save the day.
Yeah, Jerry Garcia in a pouch that was sold to him by Andy Garcia's brother, Barry Garcia.
Garcia.
Barry Garcia.
He
comes
told
out
me
the
it was, man.
Yeah, Jerry saves the day, and then
I think my eyes are a little bit Jim Burry right now.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I feel like I can't
do what
see.
we've been doing.
Okay, did we get another joke here that wouldn't fly in today's movie? Because they read the letter in the van that he wrote for Mary Jane, and then when they come in, as you know, after they've obviously taken notes, he goes, "Yeah," he's like, "Nice letter, queer."
Yeah,
yeah.
And I'm like, you can't say that.
You know what, Morgan? Do you have any other notes that you want to get off that we hadn't talked about?
Oh, notes we hadn't talked about.
Because he had a shit ton of notes. So I
sit down and wrote 7 pages of notes for this just to see funny stuff.
Just to comment on the thing that he said while you're looking that up, that is one thing that I thought about. Like these characters are asshole cops who are dumb. Another trope in stoner movies, just dumb cops. So like, yeah, I feel like it's like fine that they're just calling him a queer over it.
Maybe it works just because he didn't say the F word.
Yeah, if he had said the F word, I've been like, okay, we didn't need all that.
But he called him queer, so you can like kind of like you can get away with that.
But
because he used a Q.
Right, yeah.
It's the L out of the alphabet. He used the Q, so that's the Q.
It wasn't like super offensive, and also it just made me just kind of think back, like it's like
you should have called him lesbian.
Yeah, it's like
funny.
The silliness of homophobia, where somebody is just like, "Oh, you wrote a love letter to the person that you're having sex with. You must be gay." Like, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, unless that person is gay. Or the same sex as you, then that's not gay.
Right, yeah. It's like, this is a woman that I'm writing to.
Right.
I got a couple notes.
Yeah, tell me.
I got a couple notes.
Yeah. Tell me you hadn't gotten laid without telling me you got laid. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
A rehab scene, guys. When he shows up in rehab and he's like, "I'm here for marijuana," and I can't. Who is it that says it? He's like, "I sucked a dick for cocaine."
Oh yeah, Bob Saget.
Yeah, it's Bob Saget. He's like, "If you ever sucked a dick for crack," that was a classic scene. Shout out Bob Saget.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bob.
Well,
R.I.P. Bob Saget.
I'm glad you brought that up, but not because of Bob Saget. Because of the black dude.
Oh yeah, the black actor.
Can you look his name up for me real quick, Alex?
See if I can find it.
Okay, while you're doing that, there is
I'm bringing
some
up
other
your
notes.
clip. I'm bringing up your clip right now.
Because we skipped the vault, guys. We skipped the vault. It's one of my favorite.
You're jumping around. So I'm playing the clip.
I'm here today because I'm addicted to marijuana.
Hell no. You in here for some marijuana? Marijuana? Man, this is some bullshit.
So this guy right here is a stand-up comedian, or at least at the time, he was a stand-up comedian, and he was on like the second season of Real World, I believe.
Okay.
He got kicked off of Real World.
David Owens. David Edwards.
That's him?
That's him. I was like, that can't be him. But no, I was like, yeah.
That's her right there.
That's her. Yeah.
That's what they were talking about.
Y'all can't see this, but
y'all can't see it. But we found it. We got down to the bottom of it. Yeah, he was definitely in Real World. He was it was definitely, this is definitely after that. But to the point of, could it get made before? I mean, like, this dude would not have been in this movie. We can definitely tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because this dude had a whole bunch of issues with women and whatnot. So, and I think it really fucked up his career, because he's done some things, but
Shit!
nothing.
Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. I see them. Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. I seen them. That's an addiction, man.
So yeah, I had to get to that. Go ahead and run down the next notes. We got a couple minutes.
Okay. So they go up in the vault, and Dave does the nut bit again, which I thought was hysterical. Again, he sees all the weed in the vault. But I thought, we should cover some of the names of the weed in the vault that scientists weed.
Okay, go ahead and knock some of them down, because I can't show too many more videos. No more.
We had Tibetan Buddha. We had that Maui Wowie.
Ding.
Classic.
That Yukon Gold.
Ding.
That golden tie.
Ding.
That Northern Lights.
Ding.
The chocolate tie.
Ding.
The tie magic. They were really on tie sticks for this whole thing.
Ding.
Yeah.
They had the Big Bud,
Ding.
which I've never heard of.
Yeah,
Acapulco Gold.
Ding.
And then a word that I went back and forth like 10 times trying to figure out. It starts with skunk, is all I know. Is it some kind of skunk? But I could not make out the word. I fast forwarded it. And I was just like, I don't know what the hell that was. I did think it was also kind of funny that he called it the fine china, the babaloo, the heroin. Like
Ding,
these
ding,
nicknames, these like
ding.
old 70s nicknames, the Colombian Heaven Candy,
Right.
Candy makes you dandy.
Candy makes you dandy.
Which is another one of the lines that outlives this movie. And
Hey,
then
just call me Jesse Owens.
I was this many years old, and this is just really sad, before I realized that Mary Jane's last name was Potman.
Yes, Potman.
I didn't realize until like a few years ago too, like when I rewatched it, I was like, Potman.
No, I realized it years ago, but it's because, and her dad's name is Potman, right? So, and he's in jail, so he was selling weed. And he was the pot
The
man.
pot man's in jail, man. The pot man in jail.
Dog,
Yeah.
can't make. Hey, look,
And of
that's-
course he would
I
name
noticed
his child Mary Jane.
I noticed that when I was in my street pharmacy time. When me and the homie used to watch Half Baked and How High, like back to back, doing nothing all day except
The only other
getting
note I
rid
got
of
here, guys, is the last line of this movie is just one that we will always hold in reverence for as long as we live.
Go ahead and
So-
drop it down. Let us know.
No,
What
I
is-
think you ought to go to the clip. You ought to go to the clip for that.
I don't
You
have
oughta
the
go to
clip. I don't have
I
the
can't
clip.
beat
We
Dave
don't have the
Chappelle.
We don't have the clip.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle and the Joint have a moment together. And the Joint, I don't even know who the lady is who plays the Joint, but you know, she's a face on a joint.
Shout out to her. Hope you were
Shout out to
something-
her.
Hope you were in something else.
And you know, like she like tempts him and he almost smokes the joint. He's like, no. And then he throws the joint over the bridge and she's like, you'll be about. And he's like, I love weed, but not as much as I love pussy. And I'm like, yes.
So apparently they made them do that ending. The studio made them do an ending where Thurgood
Goes
had
away?
to redeem himself. You know, he had to give up weed. It's something like
This was the Dare generation, man.
Well, no, it wasn't even so much about the Dare generation. It was just that, like, yo, we're doing a weed movie. Like it's like the first weed movie since Cheech and Chong.
Yeah,
it's like
for sure.
We have to be careful. So it's like because they felt like they just needed to give the character this like redeemable quality or whatever. But they have two endings, as we all know. We know that there's two endings. There's one ending where he throws the joint into the bay and he jumps in there to get that bitch. Right.
Yep.
Right.
But they changed it, and they didn't even want him to do that. I don't think. I think they wanted him to just like completely give it up,
right,
and like change his life and have this like speech where he changes his life and all this stuff. But I guess the one thing that Neil and Dave were able to do was just sneak in this one scene where what was it the
narrator,
the dailies,
yeah, the narration, the fucking voiceover.
Oh yeah,
fucking hate voiceover. Anyway, in the voiceover they were able to switch it up where it was just like the line like you just mentioned, Morgan, about getting some pussy. Like, I love smoking weed, but I love getting some pussy. Like, so turns out they test screened it, and the Universal executives snuck in to like see it before it came out, and they were pissed because they didn't want it. They didn't know. That's not what the fuck we wanted. Right. But everybody loved it, so they had to leave it in. So
I feel like they missed a chance here, though. I feel like they missed a good chance.
Well,
because it would have gone with the theme of the movie if he'd have been like, I love pussy, but I love some weed. and then like fuck you, Mary Jane, and I got the joint, and
We'll see.
yeah, like
that's
that would
what
have been funny. That would have been funny.
It's not as good as ending. It's not as good of as it's not as good of an ending. As funny as that would have been, it's not as good of an ending. The ending that they got was the best that they could have got with what they had before.
They were allowed to do, yeah.
With whatever they had, all of the movie that they had before, that is the ending that they had to come to.
Yeah, because the like we all mentioned, the love story is probably the weakest part of
it's the most unnecessary part.
So like having that end on just like a wink and a nod, I was like, oh, actually George Clooney's Batman now. Like,
yeah,
it makes it more of just like a funny like thing.
It should have ended with them panning out from them coming out from the bust, and they walking around. The smoke's coming out of the van, and people are doing crazy shit. You get the wild lines, the walla, and people just saying crazy shit. And as you back out with the music playing and the credits go, you know what I mean? Like that's. Yeah, you just back out further and further, like old school 80s, 90s.
He is out of jail, and we're all gonna go get who was the bong? It was we can't use Billy Bong Thornton.
Billy Bong Thornton, yeah.
Yeah, they can use Billy Bong Thornton again because he's back, man. We don't have to use Wesley Pipes.
I think they could have did all of that in like the end credits on the in the credits on the side. You know how they used to do this?
Yeah.
Could have gave us all that at the end on the side.
The weed ritual was fun. Like I loved that part. I was the filming for that part where they did the circle was the first time you've seen that. So like that 70s show copied that later where they did the rotation with everybody's head around in the circle. And that's where that kind of came from. Because, they're like, everybody has a ritual when they smoke weed. And they're like, we got Billy Bong Thornton, man. And they had to take their shoes off. And they're like, no, not you, Brian. Like, put your shoes back on, man. Like, the whole weed ritual and everything. I thought that was really creative and funny.
Yeah, they definitely nailed the ritualistic nature of because again, like now that things are more modernized, like I feel like, smoking weed, especially not how legal it is. It's not as ritualistic, at least for me. It's like, oh, this is a thing that I have to make sure like it's not as rare and it's not as
I don't light candles
illegal.
and run a bubble bath.
Yeah. So it's a lot more right. Yeah. Yeah, like I really like how again this is a nice just cultural timestamp for just what people thought we.
There's people who didn't have smoking rituals that created smoking rituals for other people.
Yeah,
it's just such an innocent time, guys.
Their bongs, Billy Bong Thornton,
Billy Bong Thornton, or Wesley Pipes.
Everybody had a Wesley Pipes.
This was such an innocent time, guys. This is pre 9/11. This is back when, but they're putting needles in your kids' Halloween candy, guys. Like that's what
that's what we were afraid of. Yeah.
A blowjob got a president impeached. Like these were simpler times, ladies and gentlemen.
But what question that they didn't ask then, but they do ask now.
What's that?
Does it hold? That's right, guys. At the end of every episode, we vote on whether the film is good or as bad as we remember. And as our special guest, Morgan, you get to go first.
Yeah.
Holds up. Of course it holds up. This is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. This is the start of pot movies. This is a start of a whole genre. How could this not hold up? It's Dave Chappelle. How has anything Dave Chappelle ever not held up? Dave Chappelle's show still holds up. His old comedy's still up. Jim Brewer still holds up. Shout out Jim Brewer. Harland Williams still holds up. If you see him do comedy, like these people are Gilmer Diaz, these people are still holding up. So of course it holds up. They just look back on it the same way we all look back on that thing we made our parents in 6th grade. Like our parents love it and they know it's crap.
Yeah.
But the rest of us think, damn, that's a masterpiece. Like Van Gogh didn't like his own work either. Like it's one of those things. We know this is great. Yes, it holds up. It's an amazing movie, and I'll forever watch it on repeat on weed, man.
On weed. Yeah, very well said. Yeah, like I think all that's very fair. But I was gonna ask you earlier.
Well, no,
Oh.
because I forgot. There was a.
Does it hold? I would say yeah. This movie. I would say yeah. This movie holds up. It's still super funny. Like if you couldn't tell from us just laughing our asses off, just talking about it. The last couple of hours, yeah, it's still super funny. And I think that with the kind of movie that's Tamara Davis and like Dave and Neil ended up making, it might not have been like what they like their dream movie, but I think it worked
You
perfectly
can't
for
always get what you want.
yeah, I think it worked perfectly for what the for this time, and it just shows like how incredibly popular it was and how it just kind of stayed in the zeitgeist forever. Like there's a lot of really bad pot movies out there. I had to watch, or I didn't have to watch, but I did watch a lot of them.
Well, you had to.
You had to. I had to. But this is one of those that's like there's a reason that it's stuck around this long and people still adore it so much. It's got a lot of great performances, pretty funny story. Got some problems, but on the whole, it still holds up.
Yeah. Only one thing that I have a problem with as well. Where do these niggas sleep in this apartment?
Yeah, I didn't see any bedrooms.
Like
there's one bed in the kitchen and the guy on the couch. So I'm guessing somebody sleeps in the chair, and then they had the little love seat. And so I'm guessing that one guy on the love seat, maybe one or two in the bed, one on the couch,
is it like
one in the chair.
Somebody sleeps outside? They did have like an outside patio.
Yeah, man. See the stars.
Like maybe one dude sleeps on the outside patio, and then another.
These guys were really broke before Mr. Nice Guy came along.
You goddamn right. It's clear. If we didn't learn anything from this, we learned that for sure.
It's because again, they're spending like $300 a pop on every like munchie run,
dude,
and a little bitty sack for like $60. And I'm just like, man, no wonder y'all are broke. I don't know what y'all are smoking, but geez, it's a weird time to be alive, fellas.
It did make me think about being a kid or not a kid, like a college student buying like $80 eighths of weed. It's like fuck. That was stupid.
Man, but this time, look, man, this is that special. This is that good. We just got this good in. It just came in from Atlanta, and I'm just telling you, man, this is the stuff. That's why it costs more, because it's better.
I mean, come on, that actually has more. That's called supply and demand. Where you are,
yeah, you're right.
Where you are, it's going to drive up the price.
Yeah, and what usually like
I have to explain drugs, or are we going to ask the question?
Does it? Oh, I don't know. I want to explain drugs. No, I was just checking. What's your vote?
Sometimes we start this and we don't know what the fuck we gonna say at the end. Honestly,
yeah,
it sounds like a bit, and we do some bits, but that is not a bit. We really sometimes get on here and have no idea what the hell we're gonna say. Today was one of them days. I was like, man,
really?
Am I gonna be convinced by one of you, either you or Morgan, to sway one way or another?
Mm-hmm.
Both of you have conveyed some pretty good, cogent analysis when it comes to this movie.
Sophisticated adjectives.
Thank you. You use sophisticated adjectives to kill time.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing that.
You spread it out. You spread it out. Okay. So get you a thesaurus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because when you can bloviate.
Well done.
Then you can extend. What were you about to say? Sorry.
I said, can we just take a moment to shout out Alex's shirt for a minute? Because hi.
Oh yeah,
happy 420, everybody. Yes.
Yeah, happy 420. That's
you can't put the microphone in front.
That's beautiful artwork happening here on Alex's chest. Happy 420.
Right.
Yes,
which Which leads me to that's exactly what leads me into what I was about to say. That's perfect.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Get distracted.
Perfectly what I need to set me up. I think this movie, it barely holds up. It holds up, but it barely holds up. I'm gonna tell you why. It's very short.
It is short.
It is really, really short. It's under 90 minutes.
It's a very
like
short
82
film.
minutes.
And I feel like what we got, the way that they did, the way the studio did, maybe they wouldn't do all those things today. But if they put that movie out today, it would be in the vein. Not saying it would be as bad. I'm just talking about the level of success that it would have would not be great. We talking about House Party, the new one, or maybe the new, maybe the new, better than the new How High.
Better than the new How High.
You know what? I'll say it would be How High, or a little lower than How High, because How High is not as good as Halfway. But yeah, this movie holds up, but it barely holds up.
Well, to your point, I would say that the shortness, even though it
also didn't pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah, it didn't pass the Bechdel test.
Didn't pass a lot of the tests the benchmarks that we set on this show.
Yeah,
the sound, the music was not really great. Yeah. It was a patchwork of it was a tapestry of fucking
a cultural icon. That's why it holds up, because it's a museum piece to a time in our lives and a time in this country and this world that we're never going to get back.
Well,
and
that is not the criteria of does it hold up though. Does it hold up mean can you take it from then and make it now?
But I think all that can be used for the argument of
no, nostalgia cannot be made. No,
I'm not talking about nostalgia.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
time capsule stuff is nostalgia. Anything related to then has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm just talking about that's our appreciation for it. We already did 2 hours of that. Now we're talking about does it hold up? Y'all said it does hold up, and you gave good reasons for why you think it holds up. But now you're giving reasons that don't make sense. But yeah, I say it barely holds up. But I had to give the reasons that it wouldn't. Just so people understand why I'm saying barely. I mean, y'all already said all the reasons that it does. There's no point in me sitting here and saying why it doesn't. I mean, why it does again.
We already, the votes are in. It holds up. But Morgan, is there any? Do you want to tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs?
You want to find me on the interwebs? You got to come to the Drunk Panthers. You got to come on Monday nights and hit me up in the chat. And if you're really cool, you're going to sign up for a membership. And then you can come see me with Bill's Bantha Bunch, because, we don't let Alex come to that a lot. But I'm there. I'm still in the chat. I'm just not always in front of the camera because I don't always be in front of the camera. But thanks for having me out tonight. I've had fun with this. Happy 420. Love it. And I'll be back to work with you guys, so when need be.
Yeah, he's Fifth Bantha. Y'all gonna see him around. Y'all know what it is. Y'all day ones know what it is.
Yeah. Always love chatting with you, man. This is super, super fun. Obviously, we could probably talk about this movie for 4 more hours.
At least 3 more pages that he has.
Yeah, it's I've got so many notes.
In case you thought I was lying, and I numbered the top corner, so I didn't get them out of order, guys.
There you go. Because he knew he was going to be smoking weed, so he knew he would need to number.
Gotta have a teleprompter.
If you want us to post Morgan's notes for Half Baked on our social media, let us know in the comments.
Oh yeah, you should take pictures of them, and then we put it on on
the Instagram or something.
On Instagram for when it's the members only.
Yeah,
you gotta post you gotta post it in the community.
Okay, yeah, in the community.
Unfortunately,
when the new ones post, nobody sees the update. You gotta put it in the community.
Yeah. I could do that. I just think that I would be the only person that could read them back to you because I missed my opportunity as a doctor.
Be hilarious.
And I can't write.
It's still hilarious. It's still hilarious.
All right.
We might need you to transcribe them as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to transcribe them. I'll mail you the originals, fellas. I'll send you the real deal for the museum quality.
Oh man.
We'll take you a picture. We'll take a picture of you, and then people will slide by, and then boom, it'll just be all this craziness.
There you go.
All right. Morgan's weed notes for $7. It's like, no, Morgan signed them himself. All right, I'll give you 4.
4, man. Right? Exactly. That's the level of fame I'm shooting for right there.
Thank you guys for watching the show. New episodes drop every other Monday at 4:20 a.m. Check us out on all social media platforms at The Drunk Panthers. Please like and subscribe. It's not required, but if you don't, you will not be invited to the cookout. We'll see you in a couple weeks. All right. Take care.